Hi, I'm Mark Logan and welcome to the Lastolite School of Photography, and we're here today to talk about the grids. These are an accessory to go on to either the Easy Box, which is the large soft boxes that we use to go on the likes of the Luminate heads. And then we're also going to be looking at the grid system on location. In fact, we're going to go, and these are designed for the Easy Box hot shoes, so we can kind of control the light even more. Now you might ask yourself, what are they all about? And it's kind of more to do with the fine control of light. If we just concentrate to begin with on the big Easy Box hot shoe that we have here, sorry, the big Easy Box we have here, you can see that when it points directly at the camera, you can see, you know, these kind of cells, these kind of white lights. Let's not forget that behind here we have the diffused light source. But what we're going to do is control the light direction with the use of the cells. And as I turn this around towards me, what should become apparent to you is that the lighting in here will start to disappear. That's because you won't be able to see it, because I'm going to change the direction. Because what we're going to do is use it like a honeycomb, and a honeycomb will only allow a light to travel in a straight direction. It doesn't kind of bounce off and everything else. So as I turn it towards me, you should see that the light is now beginning to disappear fully from camera position. That's because we're controlling the light direction and controlling the spillage. Now you can see here it works in the traditional way. The Easy Box hot shoe itself is based on the lollipop, the attachment for your speed light or other lighting to actually go on to here. The Easy Box fits onto the lollipop as normal, but of course it's the accessory on the front here is what it's about. And exactly the same way as what the grid on the Easy Box does, it does exactly the same effect here. So when we're working on location, it allows us to kind of get a little bit more creative use of our light, very tight control of the light into a small light pool, so it doesn't kind of just spill and gradate across the whole image. So I think the best thing is to demonstrate it and see how we kind of get the different effects using the grids. We're using a simple studio setup today. I'm on the Lastolite Super White vinyl as a background. We're not going to light this up because I want to show you control of the lighting. It's gorgeous there. A little lean with the head again. It's gorgeous there. Keep it. Oh. One more. Serious, looking down. Turn the nose to me though. It's good just there. And if you can't see the difference from that, basically there's no need to buy a grid. It's amazing. What I've just gone from is a mid-key kind of background because the light spilled onto white. Now I've gone to a near kind of black background, a very low-key background because I'm not allowing the light to spill. If you take you back just a little bit, let's just kind of show you that we can still get light to spill onto the background, of course, but it's still going to have that control. Just go back a fraction more. Whoa, that's brilliant. Exposure's not going to change, of course, because I've kept the angle the same. And we're just going to work in the same way. We'll just shoot that view shot again, just to show the spillage. Now, when the video guys put the images up by side view, you're going to be able to see that the contrast of the image has changed as well. Why? Because now we're controlling the light source in a very tight way. We're controlling the spillage. Look how the sharpness of the shadow caused by Rebecca on the white background has increased even more as well. So think about the kind of control, because this is a great little accessory if you use it right. So when you want to control things in a very narrow way, perhaps you want to photograph a father and their child very close up, a newborn, and you just want to spill the light onto the baby's face and kind of ignore dad. This is how we can do it. It's just control that light by its direction going through. I'll show you the kind of the key positions of where to use the light from. So it's kind of a walk through of the light. And as you can see, that's a pretty classy image with no work, one light with one direction, just using the grid system. And of course, if you've got other size softboxes or other softboxes, you could pretty much build up a kind of a working environment here to get great photographs, things like athletes, mothers and babies, young kids when you're looking for that kind of the mood quality, the young executive where you've got to get that power image. Loads and loads of applications for this, not just in a commercial or a classical style of portraiture. So we've seen the great images that we can produce with just a simple grid on the Easy Box. Let's go out on location now and apply a grid to an Easy Box hot shoe to see what kind of images we can create there. So we're using the grid system now on the Easy Box hot shoe. And the benefit of that, of course, it's going to control the light diffusion for us as far as its direction, so it's going to control the spread. And if you think about what the softbox is allowing the light to do, it's diffusing it, which is what we want from a speed light, because if we're going to use a very harsh light on a portrait, it's always going to look very, very strong, and that's great at times for some photographs. However, for the majority of the time, we like a diffused kind of look. So we've got the 2 layers of diffusion running in the EasyBox Speedlight anyway. So let's do a couple of shots. First of all, with the honeycomb grid system on there, I should say, and then we'll remove some of the diffusion as well, so you can see the difference. But let's do the one first of all with the grid on. Let's just do a couple of shots. Let's do the 3/4 length, a little lean with the head here to here. That's lower the chin a touch for me, please, Rebecca. That's beautiful. So that's my kind of my basic shot. I'm going to step backwards now, quite a way, just looking down towards the floor, darling. That's gorgeous there. Let me just do the full length. Let's come down a little bit lower, just there. That's cool. Now I'm going to kind of just zoom back and just get a little bit more of this tree in as well. Rebecca, if you step over towards there a little bit, that's great. Lean against there again. I'm just going to move that just around a touch to make sure it spills there. I've got to make sure that even if I move the model a little bit, that I do move that the softbox as well. Why? Because this grid system really does control the light to that the fine degree. So I'm just going to kind of go to the 24 wide angle zoom now on the lens. I'm just going to kind of bring in this tree just above her. It's good, just there. And that gives quite a dramatic effect, of course. We could develop that even more if we move her away from the wall and use the tree as the background, which I'm probably going to do at the end. It looks that good. So that's the simple kind of look. Let's go basic. Right, we're going to step back to a desired position. I'm going to zoom back and I'm going to show the whole wall, whole frame, and let's just see where the speed light with the EasyBox and the grid looks like it hits. You can see it concentrates the light source, yeah? Let's just drop the grid out for a minute. And you watch how this spills. You're also going to have a slight increase in exposure as well, because that will reduce a little bit of the exposure. But I'm not going to fuss with that for now. I'll just show you it. And you can see from that shot alone how much the diffusion of the light is. The first thing, it's here. This is where we're kind of seeing the big difference. With the softbox so close, and even though the lips of the EasyBox will kind of shelter some of the light away, it's not doing enough. And so we've lit all around here as well, and it kind of spreads its way across towards this kind of crack position running down on the wall. But when we had the grid on, as you can see, it concentrates the light straight in towards the middle, and it gives us a different effect fully. Right, so let's just take out the diffusion now and just see what the grids are like without it. And that's going to give me an exposure. It's giving me f18. And the difference before, we had f5, 5.6. So let's just do that quick test. So that's how much those diffusion material was reducing it, as well as the grids themselves. So let's just do that shot. Brilliant. And there for me, looking down. Now you can see how the grid system gives us an almost dappled light effect. Why? Because if you think about what we've got here is something interrupting the light source. And when anything interrupts the light source, the further it is away from the light, the closer it is to the subject, the more sharp that shadow is going to be. So you can get some really great effects here without having to kind of work too hard. But be aware of that, when you've got no diffusion going on at all, you are going to end up with a pattern of sorts on the subject. You'll notice that the new EasyBox Hot Shoe has a slightly deeper Velcro part, and that's to allow, of course, now for the grid system. So that's the simple use of the grid system to go on to either the EasyBox Hot Shoe, as we have here, or onto the Studio EasyBoxes. Remember, they're designed to control the light, the spillage, kind of allow the pool of light to hit the subject where you want it to hit, instead of just allowing it to fly over. Remember, the whole point of a softbox is to diffuse the light source, but by doing that, it also allows it to be diffused, and it gradates out away from the light. And that is why we use the grids, to control it into the pool where we're trying to do, just like it would a honeycomb. So I'm Mark Cleghorn for the Lastolite School of Photography. I'm going to go for a coffee. See you soon. Bye-bye.